Hey everybody, welcome to All That Jazz. I'm Jez. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, we are so happy to have you. Today, I'm going to do a spread for the first week of April, which means that it's April Fool's Day, it's National Find a Rainbow Day, it is, what else? National Crayon Day, one of the days. So I thought it would be great to do a spread that is rainbow theme, along with throwing in some crayons, maybe possibly on the side. I got these stickers from this book here. I cut it up. This is from, I believe, Dollar Tree. This is a scrapbook paper pad from Joann's. And then I'm also going to use this paper pad, and I'm going to use these. And this is also from Joann's. So let's take out the first week of April. I have some pre-planning here already. Some ideas for next week. So this says crayons and rainbow theme this week. I hope everybody's weekend was great. I went to go see Snow White, and I was thinking of doing a Snow White spread. And maybe I might still, we'll see how I'm feeling towards the middle of this. For right now, let's get rid of these little beetles. This is from the Beetlejuice Happy Box. It's a classic vertical. And if you've been watching all my videos, you have seen that every week I have to take out these little beetles. Okay. I was thinking that we can discuss what it's like, or how old we were when we first thought or felt that we fell in love. And I will share my story, and if you'd like to share yours or share how old you were when you first fell in love with somebody, you could put it in the comments below. I would love to know. How old were you? And whatever else you want to share. I used to tell my mom every time I had a boyfriend when I was little, like in 6th grade, that I loved everybody. And my mom used to always say to me, Jessie, you don't love them. Stop using that word. It's such a deep, big word that you don't know what it means. And I would tell her, but mommy, I do know what it means. I love them. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. I want to make sure they're happy and safe. So I really loved every friend I had, every boy I dated when I was younger. Now, when I fell in love the first time, I believe I was 15, and there was a guy that I dated for the actual falling in love, that he was my best friend, and he liked me, and I got those feelings crossed because I thought, you know, he was my best friend, so that must have meant that I was in love with him, and I dated him, and but turned out that we were better off as friends, and we didn't last, but he ended up giving me one of my most precious blessings, which is my son. So that was my son's father. He was my best friend, and I loved him. I don't think I was my my true self yet to really know what it was. I didn't love myself enough to be able to fall in love with him. And of course, I didn't know that until later. And we're still friends to this day. He actually just got married. And I absolutely love his now wife. She is sweet, a sweetheart. And then the next person I dated was my daughter's father. I remember, like, when I first saw him, I couldn't breathe. We had the same gym class, and I think it was 10th grade or 11th grade. We had the same gym class. I was the late one, and when I walked in, he was sitting on his gym spot. Right when I walked into the doors, the way the back doors of the gym were open, the sun was literally only shining on him. So of course, to me and my little teenage brain, it was like angels singing. And I remember stepping back outside into the hallway and leaning up against the wall and taking 2 deep breaths and saying, that's the guy I want to marry. And he was on the football team, and I was a cheerleader. And so there was that aspect of everything. I was fairly new to the school. I wasn't raised in the same town as everybody, and it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. Our teachers used to date each other when they went to high school there. I really wanted things to work out with him, and I always kept in my head and my heart that was the guy I wanted to marry, because I went out with my son's father first, and then we broke up, and then I went out with my daughter's father, and then he thought, because my son's father was my best friend, he thought I was cheating on him, and we broke up. I'm back out with my son's father, and that's, you know, we were together for like a year, and then I had my son, and it was the second time when I figured out that maybe we weren't meant to be, or after 6 months our son was born. And but I went to my daughter's father's high school graduation because I wanted to see him graduate, and you know, I always hoped that we'd end up together. And then when I was 21, he showed up on my doorstep, even after knowing I had a baby, and he was so good with my son. I think my son was almost, by this time, almost about to be 2, if not 2 already. No, I think he was probably closer to 3 than 2. And when he showed up, we were kind of like inseparable, and I was so excited that we were together and all this stuff. And then a few years later, fast forward, when my son turned 6 is when we had, not on my son's birthday, but that year is when we had our daughter. And I was so excited, and yeah, I thought I knew what love was then, and that I was hopelessly in love with this guy, and we were growing up together, you know. We were both really, really young, and I think I know that I absolutely loved him just like I loved my son's father, and I believe I was in love with him, but I didn't know really how to love myself. Not love myself, but love. I didn't really know what it was to love the way God intended us to love. You know, I didn't know what it meant to be a godly wife and all those things. And I didn't know what it meant to be a godly husband. You know, I believed in God, but I never really read the Bible and all those things. So I didn't really have anything to kind of base what a real, true love and true relationship should be like, an adult relationship, because most of the people that I knew, they were divorced or they never been married. So I never really knew what to look for in a partner. So we did our best to make it work, and especially more so for the children, I'm sure. And, you know, I was also like in love with the idea of us, you know, the fact that I was a cheerleader and he was a football player, and we went to the same school, so things like that. But it really wasn't until after cancer, after I grew my relationship with God, that I learned what real love was and what it meant to be a godly wife and what it meant to be a godly husband. And also, when I met my husband, I was 32, 33. So I already knew what I didn't want in a relationship, right? I was an adult. I've had 2 children already that were like older than 5. And I've had failed relationships. So I knew what I didn't want. And I knew more or less what I wanted. And so I prayed for that. I read the Bible. I learned what it meant to love, from 1 Corinthians, love is kind, love is patient. And I learned how to be a better wife, because my daughter's father and I, we got married because we were like, okay, we've been together for a long time. It's time to get married. And it was more me pushing the marriage than him really wanting to get married. And so I knew that I wanted to be a wife and I wanted it to last this time, And so I wanted to make sure that I would do all the things that God wanted me to do as a wife in my next relationship. And then when I met my husband, and I saw the way he treated me and the way he treated my children, it was very different than what I was used to. And we laughed a lot together. We laughed so much together. We read the Bible together. We would stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning reading the Bible together and talking about the future and all these things that I never did with anybody. And I was like, this is what this is supposed to be like. And we went to church together. We served the church together. It was awesome. And I think that's when I finally knew what being in love really, really meant, because I knew myself better. I had a relationship with God, and I knew how much he loved me and the type of person he wanted for me. So, but to get there, there was a lot of broken hearts. Either I broke them or somebody broke mine several times. And, when you first get your heart broken, you kind of feel like it's the end of the world. And there's no way you could ever love somebody as much as you love this other person. And some people even stop even believing in love. That's not me. I'm obsessed with love, as I told you in other videos, because that's our #1 commandment. And so I don't know, even before I knew it was a commandment, I always was obsessed with love and romance and all this stuff. Anyway, so the first time you break up with somebody and the first time you get your heart broken, it is the absolute worst. And when you're young, you just kind of dive in head first into everything, and you don't listen to your parents, even though they have all the advice because they've been there before, and you somehow think that they can't possibly know what you're what you're feeling because they're not the same age, or like my son used to say, it's not the same year, the times have changed, all these different things he used to tell me, that there would be no way that I could understand what he's going through. I said the same thing to my mom when I was younger. So I don't blame him for thinking that way. And trust me, now I know as a parent, we want to so badly to protect our children from getting hurt. But we are all hard-headed when we're little, when we're young, and we think we know everything. And so we got to experience things and unfortunately get our heart broken a couple times, to learn to grow. But most importantly, we first have to learn to love ourselves. If you don't love yourself, it's really hard for you to be able to love somebody else. If you don't think about it, there's this movie, one of my favorite movies is Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts. And in that movie, she's she's never been single. And Mom, if you're listening to this, don't say anything, because my mom will say, I've never been single, but I was single for a little bit. But anyway, she was never single, and she always had different relationships, and she kind of molded herself to each relationship that she had. She liked the same eggs that they liked. She liked the same sports. She liked the same things, just because that's what she thought she was supposed to. do. And so every time because they were like, oh man, this girl's perfect, she likes all the things I like, and so they always proposed to her, but then when it got to the wedding day, she would run away. That is what I mean when I say you need to learn to love yourself and find out who you are before you start, before you give your heart to somebody else. It's so easy to mold yourself when you're younger to somebody else. And then if you end up with that person and you're young, you end up not really ever knowing who you are truly meant to be. I wish that, children, young adults can take a little bit more time on themselves. It's all going to be there. It is all going to be there later. I know it feels like it's not, but I promise you it is. And when you're ready, because at the same time, God is working on you. God is working on your person, the person that he or she, God, however you see God, whether it's a him or her, God is working on that person for you, so that way you guys could be the right people for each other. So I would, if I had advice for my younger self, even though I wouldn't have it any other way. I love my children. I am grateful to both their dads for giving me them, because they're my most precious gift. And I thank God every single day for making me a mom. And I am grateful for the fact that I was a young mom, because, I got breast cancer when I was 32. That's pretty young. That's around the time when people are having kids now. And I wouldn't be able to have children if I would have waited, if it was all supposed to be the way it was, that I was always supposed to get cancer. It's not something hereditary, because nobody in my family had breast cancer. I don't like this. So yeah, I would just recommend that the young people just take your time. Everything is going to be there later. Just take your time, figure out who you are, figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you want out of life. And then your person's going to be doing the same thing. And then finally, when you do get together, you're going to be perfect for each other. And you're going to be ready for whatever life has to throw at you. And not that it's going to, nothing's ever really, really, really perfect. Everything takes time. Everything takes work. All relationships take work. Whether it's a relationship with your friend, a relationship with your parents, it all takes work. You have to wake up every single day and literally choose to put in the work, because you love that person, because you want the best for that person. That is my advice. Take time, get to know yourself, make sure you're working on you, make sure you're doing the things you want to do. If you want to go to school, go to school. Now I'm not going to sit here and say that if you find your person early, that don't be with them. There are people that end up being together and it works somehow, which is great, which is completely, utterly awesome for them. But you don't want to wake up one day and be like, you've changed, and now the person who you've changed into doesn't really appreciate the person that you fell for. That's not fair. Because you've changed. You have to, like I said, you have to choose every day that you wake up to work on the relationship, to love that person. Because we are always changing. The only constant thing is God. Is whatever you believe in is the only constant thing. Everything else is subject to change frequently. And so you have to consciously make the effort to love the person you're with. And try to make it work. Every keep trying. The other thing that I knew that this was a different kind of love, the one with my husband, than what I had before, was because every time I get upset, every time that I get upset, I hear the Holy Spirit say, make your husband some coffee. And I'm saying, I don't want to make him some coffee. And the Holy Spirit nudges me until I make the coffee. And then by the time I'm finished making him the cup and bringing him the cup, I don't even remember why I was mad in the first place. It all goes away. Where before I would hold on to grudges, I would hold on to the anger, and now I just don't got time for all of that, you know? If you do end up finding your person and it's early and this is from Dollar Tree, you know you're young still, I suggest keep in your head that you're both young. Each other grace, show each other understanding and patience. You know, remember that when you first fell for the person, or you first started saying, oh my gosh, I really like this person, you know, remember that always, so that way you don't start to disrespect each other and start being resentful. That's why it's important that you communicate and you're honest with each other and you share your dreams and your goals. And that's the other thing that I get worried about with this young generation, with this, you know, the people that are my children's age. Because a lot of young people don't know what they want yet out of life. They follow, you know, their friends and the person that they love because they know what they want. But that is a recipe for disaster, because you are not doing what's best for you. You're doing what's best for others. And you're just following the crowd instead of doing what's best for you. And what's best for you is finding out what it is that you want to do. It's finding out what you want to do with the rest of your life, with your time, how you want to spend it. And then, you know, if you really love that person and that person really loves you, there's a compromise that needs to be made of when things are going to happen and how long you're going to stay in a place and things like that. I don't think, you know, young adults really think that through much. When you do things that way, you end up getting hurt, or you end up hurting somebody. So I suggest, also from Dollar Tree, I'm trying to look for anything that has rainbow, since I don't have a lot of things with crayons on it. So communicate. And I know that's really hard for young adults today to do, but it must be done, because nobody could read your mind. And the only person that knows what's best for you is you. Yes, yes, yes. I speak from experience, not because I don't want people to be happy. I don't know. Let's put her here. Now we're just gonna use any rainbow anything. This Lisa Frank stuff. I used to love Lisa Frank when I was younger. I still love it. I love all the colors. So yeah, communicate, take your time, be honest with yourself, be honest with the person you're dating, and show each other grace. Be patient. Everything is going to be there later. You don't have to rush things. I wish I would have listened to my mom when she tried to talk to me when I was younger. About certain things, you know, that I didn't know about and I thought I knew about. But we eventually figure it out, regardless. I'm actually loving this horse. How many times have I taken this horse out of here? This Pegasus. I know this one doesn't have wings, but this one's so pretty. There's so many kitties, and I don't like kitties. I mean, no. They have so many kitties, and I'm a dog person. I do like kitties. I'm just very allergic to them, and so I kind of just stay away from them. Even though I love them, I think they're so cute, and I wish I could cuddle with them, and I wish I could have one, but I can't. And my husband is deadly allergic too. So. I had a great time falling in love, and I learned a lot within the Broken Hearts. I learned about people, I learned about myself. So, though I don't wish broken hearts on anybody, and I don't want my children to have broken hearts, I understand that it's something we must all go through. And I just hope that they know that no matter what, I am always here for them. And that the hard times will pass. And life is all about the ups and the downs. Yes, indeed. I guess I could put, but I guess it's here. And then what's this little chiquitita over here? I wonder. Let's see. I have this. These are the dates that they came out. No, I'll probably save her for December. I don't know. She doesn't really go. I don't know, maybe I can make her go. put Miss Snow White instead. Because I would save her for December, but I'm going to be in Puerto Rico at that time. So my spread is going to probably be a Puerto Rico spread. I'm so excited for that trip. Oh, nail, this sticker broke. How'd this guy get in here? This little mouse or bear or whatever that was. So, talking about Snow White, I thought the movie was pretty good. I didn't think it was as bad as everybody's making it out to be. I don't think the girl who played Snow White, I think she's good. She's a great actress. I don't think she is soft enough for that role. Snow White is very delicate. I feel like the actress that played that role doesn't give a Snow White vibes. Not because she is Latina, because that doesn't matter at all to me, because I'm convinced that the real Snow White was probably Latina. Cleaning all day, fighting with her mom, you know, those kind of things. So I don't have really anything to say negatively about that part. I just think she wasn't, like I said, she wasn't as delicate and soft as we know Snow White to be. This is for, this doesn't have, I don't know, we'll see. I need a big box is what I'm looking for. Good. This is from Kill of a Plan, Daily Florals, Volume 2. I'll start with the little birds first. Yeah, I loved all the songs from the movie. They were really good new songs. I wish they had more pictures of the dwarves by themselves. Like, we don't need him twice. I need something for here. This is what I have to do since they don't come by themselves. Let's see if I like it. I think it looks pretty good with Snow White. I wish I had a thin rainbow washi. I think it came out pretty cute. Oh, I did want to show you all that food journal came in, and I told you I was going to show you it when it came in. So this, I got this from Amazon. I'll try to link it, put the link in the description. And it was a spiral notebook, and what I did was I took the spiral out, and then I put washi tape on the sides here, and then hole punched it for this. But it's really cool because it, like, I'll show you here first. What it does is here if I want to eliminate a food, to see if eliminating that food helps with my symptoms, and when I reintroduce the food, if it causes symptoms. So I would put that here, like what food it is, the date I removed it, and the date I added it. And then I would track here breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, water intake, my symptoms, the day, my medication, the time I took the dose, the time I took it, any reactions I had, my sleep, how often what time I went to bed, what time I woke up, how many hours I slept, and if it was comfortable, if it was a good quality of sleep, rated 1 through 5, exercise, time, duration, mood, energy levels, and bowel movements, and any additional notes. It's funny because it even came with this little bowel movement chart, stool chart, so you can see the different types of stools. And I know this is TMI again, you know, I share with you everything. So this just lets you know, so you can put here in the stool thing which type 1 through 7. So 1 is constipation, mild constipation, normal, lacking fiber, mild diarrhea, severe diarrhea. Again, TMI. And yeah, so it comes with 3 months, I think, worth of days. So my nutritionist asked me to track this, see if this will help with my autoimmune disorder symptoms and my digestion issues and my gut issues. So I'm pretty excited to start using that this week. If you didn't check out my plan with me for the monthly, go check it out. Try to link it below. This is the spread for the first week of April. I think I like it a lot. It's very colorful, and I'm really happy with it. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for listening to me rant about love, first time love, and, you know, making sure we are giving people grace and showing ourselves grace and being patient, realizing that we have to love ourselves first before we love others. So thank you for listening to me and spending time with me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. And if you want to share a picture with me of your spread for the week, or if you want to share with me something about the first time you fell in love, how old you were, let me know in the comments below. I really do appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Remember, you are amazing. Take care. Bye.